so hot today and the sun is right above my face that I have to wear sunglasses. I know that you don't get to see my eyes and I like for you to see my eyes. So in this video, I want to say that in your head, in your mind, you're still talking to someone who literally left hours ago, days ago, weeks ago, months ago. Could it even be years ago? What I mean by this, and I will draw from my experience, a lot of the time, because I'm somebody who is very self-conscious of my social interactions. If I'm in a social interaction and I feel awkward, if I feel uncomfortable, if something doesn't go precisely the way I wanted, if I feel emotionally dysregulated, often I project whatever insecurity or judgment that I have about myself, I often project it onto other people. I think that they're saying in their minds, oh, ML is acting strange, or she's like this, or she's like that. And sometimes after those interactions are completely over, the event's done, everyone goes home, I can still be ruminating and replaying conversations, energy of an interaction, the optics, maybe looks, whatever is going on. I can replay those things in my mind over and over again. And those people that were involved, whether they are acquaintances, whether it was a good friend, whether it was somebody in my family, whoever it might be, there is some version of them that has remained in my mind, and I'm continuing on a conversation, some kind of mental dialogue or emotional mental dialogue with that person, or perhaps some idea of them over and over and over again, even though that interaction has completely finished. So often I find myself in this position where I'm looping and overthinking and ruminating on these interactions and keeping some kind of mental vision or image alive of that person, like almost like they are frozen or stuck in time. Usually it's because that interaction that I was having didn't go particularly well. Like maybe there was some insecurity or judgment that I had upon myself. Maybe I was uncomfortable or emotionally dysregulated. Maybe I had some vision in my head of how I was supposed to act or behave, and I didn't act in that way. And because there's some form of standard that I'm holding myself to, if I don't act according to that standard or what I've seen, maybe I've seen somebody behave in a particular way in a social circumstance that I would like to emulate or be like, or I think that that is some vision of confidence or the best way you could behave among people, then I've measured myself to some sort of standard. And if I haven't met that standard, then that is what happens. I start ruminating. And I found that the reason why I'm ruminating is because something within me is not feeling resolved. And because that thing inside of me is not feeling resolved, it's hard for me to just close that chapter. So perhaps that resolution could come from showing myself compassion. Understanding, even though it's really hard, but understanding that not all social interactions are going to go the way that I would like. And what standard am I holding myself to anyway, and who created that standard? It's okay not to meet that level of contrived perfection, because I don't feel like perfection is a very true concept anyway. Understanding that perfection does not exist and that social interactions can be very messy, unpredictable, nuanced, and despite all of that, it is customary, it is normal, it is human, it is part of our humanity to be in these situations. So that feeling that I have that things are not resolved is leading to this looping and to this rumination and this overthinking that things could have been a different way. But I feel that offering yourself that compassion is a way to close the chapter on that interaction. I also find that giving yourself that space and time to not ruminate but reflect, to reflect on that social interaction and uncover what is it about this interaction that is leaving me feeling uncomfortable in some way, insecure, unsettled, out of sorts, and being able to like reflect and journal in a very like guided and pointed way to come to some conclusions, and working on those areas of insecurity or those areas where you feel that things are unresolved. A few weeks ago I was playing pickleball with my partner and his coworkers, and after I left that outing, which was a really good one, it was very fun, I felt that I was ruminating and focusing a lot on the interactions during that event. And I realized the reason why I was is because it brought up a lot within me. Like, I was feeling a lot of different insecurities and anxieties. I was feeling anxious because there were some people there that I've never met before. And as a historically known introvert person, I can be quite reserved, shy, uncomfortable, feeling unsafe sometimes when I don't know people and I'm meeting them for the first time. I felt insecure because my partner is really good at pickleball and like I'm a beginner. So there were lots of times where I was getting the ball out and I wasn't hitting it on time. And I think that I can see as I self-reflect that I'm someone who puts a lot of pressure on myself to be perfect, to look perfect. And of course, how can I be perfect? Like, I'm a beginner to this game, so of course I'm not gonna play like someone who's been playing for many years, and still I'm putting this pressure on myself that does not deserve to be there, and then I am judging myself because of it. And then I'm feeling like uncomfortable because I'm not having fun because I have all of these extra things happening and going on in my mind that are making me feel like I can't be present, that I can't just let go and have fun in the moment. And so it's causing this cyclical kind of discomfort. Having that kind of reflection is just teaching me a lot of things about myself in those types of scenarios when I am new to a situation, when there is some kind of performance, like whether it's playing a sport or being put on the spot. You can say, like, how do I react? How do I behave? So I feel like it's about having that type of self-reflection, offering yourself the compassion that you need in those moments, and then working on yourself and affirming yourself in those specific areas, and then closing the door. Like, if there's work inside of you that you see needs to be done, to do that work, but to also close the door. Understanding that the present moment is honestly the only true moment that actually exists. So if you are ruminating, looping, overthinking about something that happened yesterday, those people, that scenario, those situations are no longer there, and you are essentially keeping them alive through your emotions. But that person, those people that were there, that are there yesterday, even you no longer exist. I know it sounds like, ooh. You no longer exist in that form anymore. You have moved on. There are so many insights, observations, aspects of awareness, even within a short period of time, even if it was a day, that have transformed you into a different version of yourself. Those people that you are keeping alive through that feeling of things being unresolved, that feeling of uncertainty, your emotions that you're keeping alive through that thought process, they don't, including yourself, exist in that form anymore. There's this Buddhist idea that every moment comes, arises, presents itself, and then passes away, closes, is over. And while we feel the effects of what happened yesterday into today, the actual event, argument, interaction is completely over. And those versions of ourselves that were there yesterday are also gone. There may be elements of them that continue into the present, but the actual lived reality of that situation is over. And so the only thing that we have from those moments are lessons that we can learn, the memories, perhaps the impact. Those are the only things that we have from those moments, and those are the only things that we can reflect on to grow and to learn and to become better versions of ourselves. But I feel like oftentimes those people, those situations, those scenarios, those events, when they are revisited again, maybe in the present or the future, they can look entirely different. And I want to leave off here with an encouragement that every moment that you're in is a moment to create and birth something new. You don't have to go into a scenario with those same people, with those in that same situation, the same. You don't have to go into it with the same energy. You don't have to go into it with the same outlook or perspective. You can decide to be, to feel something different. You can decide to let go. You can decide to move forward. You can decide to shift your focus and your attention. You don't have to relive or replay those people, those scenarios over and over and over again. I honestly feel like I've only just scraped the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this topic. Do you replay people, scenarios, situations in your head over and over? Are there specific circumstances that you often replay? And why do you think that that is happening? I would love to know your thoughts. My name is Imo. This channel is In My Opinion. And if you are interested in more on the fly takes like these, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for your support.